Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers of Cricket Happenings. Welcome to the show. And on this particular show, while I am right now on this Cricket Happening show, I can give you a live cricket update here in the match between today is the final day of the Test match, and Pakistan were set, as you know, rain stop play, and Pakistan couldn't resume play. So New Zealand, after declaring the innings closed at 313 for 5 declared, which was definitely built around Tom Latham, who played very well for his 80 runs, and also Ross Taylor hitting a very sparkling century. So 313 for 5 declared, and Pakistan was set 369 runs to win the match. And today we are in the final day. I can definitely say that Pakistan have not accepted the challenge, as both the openers have been really grounding themselves in, as the score right now while I'm talking to you reads Pakistan chasing 369 runs for victory. This is the final day of the test match here in Shedden Park in Hamilton, and 106 for no loss is the current score. Sami Aslam is not out on 45 with 3 fours and 1 6, and Azhar Ali, the captain, is not out on 53 with 4 boundaries. So definitely they have not accepted the challenge, and Sami Aslam has used 172 balls to score 45 runs. Azhar Ali has used 150 balls to score 53 runs. So definitely that will tell you that Pakistan have not accepted the challenge. One does not know what Pakistan's ploy is, because right now when I'm talking to you, Pakistan require another 263 runs with all their wickets intact, and they have 47 overs in which to get. So one does not know whether, after, as the commentators right now were discussing on the commentary box, whether Pakistan want, like they are going to see the situation till T as to what the score is. If they are probably around 200, then probably they might probably they might surprise by actually going for it. One does not know. But I really doubt. I don't think Pakistan have already thrown in the towel. That's what my feeling is in this particular match. Well, nevertheless, I'll come back to that and also talk about what happened yesterday at Shedden Park in Hamilton. But definitely, and also Pakistan have also named their team for the tour of Australia, and they have decided to have the same team that is touring New Zealand. The only changes being Sharjeel Khan, and there is one more player who has been retained, which I will be talking about. But first, let's have a look at the England versus India match, where we are moving into day 4 today, and at day 3, definitely there is going to be a result in this match, as India continued their innings yesterday. After the previous night, we saw how Ashwin and Jadeja combined together very well to take India out of not a tough situation, but definitely a very not a very good situation, one could say. And they were the ones, Ashwin and Jadeja, on the final day. On the third day, once again started showing their skills. And I will have to say that the English captain Alistair Cook started off with the spinners, Moeen Ali, but later on, after just bowling 2 hours, probably wanted to really check the waters there. So, but he tried Moeen Ali for two overs, and then he took him off. After that, it was Ashwin and Jadeja once again, really playing very well, I thought, as far as the stroke making was concerned. Whether it was Ashwin or Jadeja was also really flowing into his strokes, no doubt about it. Ashwin, as usual, was doing his job, and both were really pushing this Indian score along, and they had usurped the England total, and in fact passed the 300 mark. But with the score on 301, India lost their first wicket, and that particular wicket was of Ravichandran Ashwin. Ben Stokes, who was the best bowler yesterday, who picked up a fifer, he was the one who gave the very much needed breakthrough for England, as he forced Ashwin to play a stroke which was probably away from his body, and it was Butler actually taking the resultant catch. He was gone for 72, with 11 fours, but a splendid job done by both these players, Ashwin and Jadeja. And that too, one has to say that it was a 97 runs partnership, and it was a very valuable one at that. Now, Jadeja was joined in by Jayant Yadav, and what Jayant Yadav did, even after Jadeja was out, probably one thought whether England will be able to wrap it up, but Jayant Yadav has really shown what a very useful all-rounder he is going to be, and that is good news for India for sure, because now from 301, an 80-run partnership started between Ravindra Jadeja and Jayant Yadav. Jayant Yadav, he definitely played some strokes, no doubt about it, but he definitely knew that he had a role to play, and if at all, he was the only recognized batsman left. So Ravindra Jadeja needed some company, and that was provided in admirable fashion by Jayant Yadav to frustrate the English bowlers, and Ravindra Jadeja carried on. And while that was going on, and Jayant Yadav was also doing a fine job, that was the particular time where Jadeja, normally one knows that when Jadeja comes down the wicket and lofts the ball, it really carries for a six. He's pretty sure of himself, as he said there. And what Jadeja did is he actually came down the wicket to Adil Rashid, the leg spinner, and tried to give him a tonk into the stands. But in the process, he actually could not get the elevation right, and Vokes took the catch. So Jadeja was gone, but very sad that he missed his century. He truly deserved a century there. He was gone for 90. This was his highest score in Test cricket, 90 with 10 fours and 1 6. Very good innings. Jayant Yadav was there as Umesh Yadav joined him, but it was Jayant Yadav getting his maiden 50 in Test cricket. And as I said, Jayant Yadav has definitely shown in this series that he is going to be another upcoming all-rounder for India. No doubt about that, as Yadav really frustrated the Englishmen to score 55 with 5 boundaries before becoming a victim of Ben Stokes. And then finally, Stokes completed the Indian innings. He brought this Indian innings to an end at 417, as Umesh Yadav was caught behind of Stokes for 12 with 1 6. Shami remained not out on 1, and India were all out for 417, thus taking 134 runs, a handsome lead, one could say. And one saw the pitch was not really giving any assistance to the English spinners as well, and it was good to see the pitch was not really changing much of its color. And Ben Stokes getting a 5-wicket back, 26.2 overs, 5 maidens, 73 runs and 5 wickets. Very good bowling from Ben Stokes. He was supported by Adil Rashid, 38 overs, 6 maidens, 118 runs and 4 wickets. Now England in their second leg, trailing by 134 runs. Hamid is yet to come, and they had Joe Root actually opening the batting with Alistair Cook. And after the pace bowlers were, Mohammad Shami was given 7 overs. Umesh Yadav was given just 1 over, in which he gave away 7 runs, and the spinners were immediately put into operation by Virat Kohli, and Alistair Cook was the first victim, as Ashwin had actually tested him outside the off stump by bowling a few testers, and then finally he forced Alistair. He also beaten him with a ball that went in straight, and Alistair Cook could not pick the line of Ashwin, as he played down the wrong line to have his stumps rearranged. And that was the first wicket to go, and that was the early breakthrough for India with the score on 27. Cook was gone, bowled by Ashwin for 12 with 1 boundary. After that, Joe Root was there. Joe Root was doing his job, and that was to really stick to the crease, as Moeen Ali joined him. Moeen Ali got an elevation in the batting order. He was sent in as 1 drop, and that really didn't take off, as Moeen Ali played a very limp shot, one thought, of Ashwin, trying to probably chip Ashwin over the mid-on fielder, and it ended into the hands of Jayant Yadav, and he was gone for 5. That made it 39 for 2 for England, and Jonathan Bairstow walked in to join Joe Root at the other end. Jonathan Bairstow, well, he took his time, and he contributed 15 with 1 boundary, before Jayant Yadav himself picked up his wicket. A very good catch taken by Parthiv Patel, one could say, behind the stumps, as Jayant Yadav got a ball that turned and he was caught by Parthiv Patel for 15. After that, a very big wicket fell. Now this was very interesting. It was just before close of play. Joe Root was at the crease at that just before close of play, one could say. Just probably it was the final over of the day, and that was a big wicket for India because it was Ben Stokes. And Ben Stokes, as you know, he could take the game away from any team, as we all know. And what he did is he actually, Ben Stokes actually got a ball from Ashwin, which actually turned and actually wrapped him on the pads. The Indian captain Virat Kohli, even though the umpire did not actually give the decision, Virat Kohli decided to go for the DRS, and in the process Virat Kohli was proved absolutely right, as Ben Stokes was gone out LBW to the bowling of Ashwin for 5, and Ashwin had taken 3 wickets, and that was a big wicket for India. Joe Root was left not out on 36 with 2 fours, and Gareth Batty came in as night watchman. He was not out on naught, as England ended up with 78 runs for 4 wickets on the end of the third day. So that essentially meant that another 56 runs, they were still trailing by 56 runs. And one could say the pitch, one did not see much behavior, but definitely when the English spinners were bowling, one did not see much purchase coming out of the wicket. But when the Indian spinners were bowling, we could see that Ashwin and Yadav in particular was really turning the ball. So let's have a look at the bowling figures. Ashwin, 12 overs, 3 minutes, 3 for 19, bowled splendidly. Jadeja, 12 overs, 4 minutes, none for 18. Jayant Yadav did a good job. He got a most important wicket, I thought, the most consistent player in this series, Jonathan Bairstow. 6 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 12 for Bairstow. And also Umesh Yadav 1 over for 7, and Mohammad Shami bowled a good line, 7 overs, 2 maidens, none for 17. So England definitely have their task cut out. Another 56 runs still in arrears. They have 6 wickets in hand. They have Joe Root for sure, one of the real pillars of this England batting. Gareth Batty is the night watchman. Hamid is still to bat. One does not know how his situation is, but I can say that one does not know whether Hamid will be playing in the future test matches. That is the news we are getting due to the finger injury he has suffered. And Josh Butler is there, and Vokes is a good plan. I think barring Anderson, I wouldn't say this England batting lineup. There's still some real batting to come for England, I reckon. So in that case, I think England have to really swell this lead to put some pressure and hope that the pitch actually really starts crumbling, and the English spinners get a crack at the Indian batsmen. Whether that is going to happen, that would be known today. That is on the 4th day, but I'm sure there is an interesting day's play coming up as far as the 4th day is concerned. So that is as far as this particular match is concerned. So now, as I told you, I will cast my eyes on to I'll take you to the live update first on the match between Pakistan and New Zealand. We are into the final day. Pakistan have been set a target of 369 runs to win the match, and currently while I'm talking to you, I can very clearly say that Pakistan have not accepted the challenge, as both Sami Aslam and Azhar Ali have been stitching together a partnership. And here I see that Sami Aslam is not out on 49, 3 fours, 1 6. Azhar Ali is not out on 55 with 4 boundaries, and Pakistan currently 112 for no loss. They have all their wickets intact and another 45 overs to go for the day. So that really tells you what exactly is going on. So, but just casting an eye on what exactly happened yesterday. Just talking about it, Pakistan, I think I really spoke to you on my cricket show that they were all out for 216, and New Zealand were the ones who resumed the innings yesterday. And New Zealand definitely, I can say, Jeet Rawal was an early victim. He was a very good ball from Mohammad Amir, where Jeet Rawal was LBW. Tom Latham played a fine hand, and he was looking in some fine nick with his nice effortless pushes through the offside, and also on the onside, his neat flicks, his cuts and dabs. And Latham looked good with a knock of 80 with 12 boundaries. And definitely he was peppered by Wahab Riaz with some bouncers. And then Wahab Riaz forced Tom Latham to actually play a very awkward shot where he really tried to defend himself, and in the process Sarfraz Ahmed taking the resultant lob behind the stumps. So Latham was gone for 80. Williamson also did his bet. He played in serene fashion to score 42 with 7 boundaries. But after that, the man who really helped New Zealand declare the innings was none other than the experienced Ross Taylor, who really played some. He played some shots. We all know that Ross Taylor likes to play the square cut. So yesterday his game was dominated by mostly the strokes were played square on the offside, and he also played some strokes square on the leg side as well. As he liked to go past the mid-wicket region a lot. As you know, he does a good slog sweep too. So Ross Taylor definitely did a good job, and he was the one who actually enabled New Zealand to declare the innings, as he scored an unbeaten 102 with 16 fours, getting company from Henry Nicholls, who contributed 26 with 4 boundaries. But Colin Grandholm, as we have seen in this series, really likes to give the ball a real whack, and that's what he precisely did, as Grandholm contributed 32 with 6 boundaries in that, and Watling was not out on 15 with 2 boundaries when Kane Williamson applied the declaration as soon as Ross Taylor reached his century. But what a century from Ross Taylor, not out 102, 16 fours in that very, very wonderful knock from Ross Taylor. So that enabled New Zealand to actually declare the innings close at 313 for 5, thus setting Pakistan 369 runs for victory. Well, I can say Imran Khan was the best bowler, who picked up 3 wickets for 76, 1 wicket apiece to Mohammad Amir, who also bowled splendidly, I thought, and Wahab Riaz also bowled a good line, 1 for 53. Now, so today as I'm talking to you, I can say that the live update here says 112 for no loss. So there is still some way to go, I would say, for Pakistan. But Pakistan have definitely not accepted the challenge. So one has to really wait and watch as to what their approach is, whether they really keep their wickets intact and then really go on the attack. That would be nice if they could do that. If, in my opinion, if Azhar Ali and Sami Aslam stay the distance till tea, then I think Pakistan should try to accept the challenge. But one has to wait and watch as to what is on Pakistan's minds. And as far as cricket news is concerned, as I said, after this New Zealand tour, Pakistan will be touring Australia, and so the team has been actually declared, and Pakistan have decided to take the same team to Australia, and I think that's the right way to go, because basically the Trans-Tasman weather, they would have got acclimatized to the weather, so I'm sure those players would be much better equipped, better equipped to actually deal with the situation in Australia as well. But in Australia, as you know, it will be pacey and bouncy. And Sharjeel and the man who made his debut, Mohammad Rizwan, has been retained in the squad. Other than that, dear fans, friends and subscribers, I have nothing else to really share here. It has been a pleasure bringing you this daily cricket show. Hope you all enjoyed it, but I'm sure all eyes will be on the England versus India game, 4th day. As I said, England trailing by 56 runs. They still have to make 56 runs to make India bat again, and that should be an interesting day's play coming up, and one has to really wait and watch as to what really pans out. Well, dear fans and subscribers, hope you all like my cricket broadcast, and there'll be more coming tomorrow on my next Cricket Happening show. Until then, it's good night.